Jurassic Park. Come on, everyone knows what that movie is. It's got the Fat Man. Oh yeah, it's also got those dinosaurs. It's one of my favorite movie series of all time. I've loved it basically as long as I've been alive, so that gives you a little hint that I'm pretty biased towards this series. I mean, I like all of them. Even 3 with its fucking talking raptor. What the fuck? See, I was kind of a dinosaur kid growing up, and I mean, I did enjoy my fair share of parks. So when I first saw Jurassic Park, it was like opening my third eye. And I remember when I found out they made Jurassic Park toys, I freaked out. I didn't know what eBay was, so when I searched up the toys, they were like $50, and then I got real sad. It took me like 4 years, but eventually I found out what eBay was, and I ended up picking up 5 of them. You got Alan Grant, Ian Malcolm, Robert Muldoon, Roland Tembo, and a Lost World Velociraptor. So you can tell it's Lost World Velociraptor because it's actually got the tiger strap pattern, and it's got the blue chin, which is the variant version. Earl Sinclair, Woody. And then when Fallen Kingdom came out, they announced they were doing a Legacy collection, and I just went straight back into child mode. Now, since I'm more of a gaming channel, I won't get into my entire Jurassic Park collection, unless you want me to. And instead, we'll stick to some of the games I've played over my 17 years of existence. Alright, so the first game we're going to be talking about is The Lost World for PS1. This was actually the first Jurassic Park game I ever played. I remember suddenly gaining consciousness at 4 and putting the disc in my PS1, and quickly realizing that this game is actually impossible. Like seriously, this is one of the hardest games I've ever played. Every step you take in this game is risking life itself. If adults can't beat this game, imagine little 4-year-old me trying to get past level 1. There's 5 different dinosaurs you can play as, with all of them acting as a way to tell when you've moved on from the next chapter, or world, if you're a Mario fan.
Showtime! I want to be the same as Gordon.
We've got characters like Compy, Guy, Raptor, T-Rex, and Girl. Now, almost everybody who bought this game bought it because they saw you could play as the T-Rex. Don't lie to me. I know you did. Now, there's just one little problem with that. The T-Rex is easily the hardest part of the game. If you aren't losing half your health to boiling water, you're getting swarmed by packs of like 500 raptors that just don't stop coming. Playing as the T-Rex is almost like a punishment. It's like the developers knew everyone would want to play as the T-Rex and purposely made it so that T-Rex is the most unfun thing to control ever. But you see, that's the thing about this game. Everything, and I mean everything, wants you dead. I mean, Jesus Christ, even the plants want you dead. The T-Rex is just the worst it gets, but this shit is happening throughout the entire game. I mean, this is just the first part of the game! Literally the Dark Souls of Jurassic Park. But the fucked up part about this is the fact that I actually enjoy this game. Like, it is surprisingly fun at times. I like playing as the army guy. He's the same guy that gets eaten by the compies in The Lost World, but I guess here he just survived, somehow. Looks fine to me. Just slap a band-aid on it. The second best character is definitely the Raptor. You die in 3 shots, but if you can avoid attacks, you can just ninja flip around enemies like it's the Matrix or something. It's definitely the most badass you'll feel while playing this game. The last 2 characters are the Compy and Sarah Harding. The Compy isn't really anything special, but it doesn't really have to be since it's the first character. I think this segment goes on for way too long though. Like seriously, there's like 20 levels or something with this guy. Just let me play as Buzz Lightyear.
To infinity and beyond!
And the last character, Sarah, I mean, she's fine, I guess. She's Theodore Stark, but now you can only shoot balls for some reason. I don't know. And so that's The Lost World for PS1. Oh yeah, I also like that if you take the time to 100% the game, you get a message from Jeff Goldblum himself telling you that you stink.
You know, you have a whole life out there. Get the stink blown off you. Just go. Go, really.
Anyway, next game. So next up on the list is LEGO Jurassic World. Now me and this game have some history. Back in
2009.
Back when LEGO Indiana Jones 2 had just come out, I was playing with the game's character creator, when all of a sudden I got a horrifying idea. It's Alan Grant. And so years passed, and one day in 2015, while I was watching a YouTube video, I stumbled upon an ad. Huh? A new LEGO game? I thought to myself. And then I saw what it was about. Dude, I woke up my mom to tell her about this. And so on the day the game released, I got it. I even got the pre-order bonus, even though I didn't pre-order it. And I beat it on the same day. And then 100%ed it a month later. I was literally obsessed with LEGO Jurassic World. I mean, it was so amazing. It's all the movies, at the time, in LEGO form. I would play this game so much that I even found ways to glitch the game and get dinosaurs into areas they weren't supposed to be in. I honestly feel like this was the last great LEGO game. Like, you can really see how much fun they're having with some of these cutscenes. Like, they made the Ian Malcolm laugh better somehow. And then they also have a bunch of Easter eggs referencing some other movies Steven Spielberg's done, like Jaws and E.T. And hey look, we've come full circle. I don't really have that much to say about the game portion of this game. I mean, it's a LEGO game, there's not really much to talk about. But in case you were wondering, you play as the characters, you drive, you punch, you jump, you eat people. Alright, next game. Let's see. Wow. Yeah, so the rest of the games on here I don't actually own physically, so we're just gonna have to use our imaginations a little. Wow, look, I own the game physically. Whoa! Now this one's technically breaking the rules a little bit, because I wouldn't really say I grew up playing this game. But since it came out back in 2018, I've been playing it, so I'm counting it, alright? I remember when the game first went out for pre-order on Steam. I pre-ordered that thing immediately and was super pumped, because like, come on, it's a new Jurassic game. And so I wait for it to launch at 3 AM. I sit there patiently watching it download. I start the game, the intro passes, and I start the game for real this time, and it's the laggiest thing I've ever played. Yeah, I was super disappointed. My laptop simply wasn't powerful enough to play it. And it didn't help that I didn't have a PS4 either, so I just kinda had to suck it up and play it at 2 frames a second. Eventually I just quit playing it because I wasn't having fun. Then fast forward to 2020, I now have a PS4 and I'm browsing the PlayStation Store and there I see it. It's super cheap and it's the deluxe edition. So I bought it and I've been playing it ever since. There's just something about park builders that I find so enjoyable. And I get it. They can be really boring at times, but like, come on, it's Jeff Goldblum.
How dare you speak to me?
The graphics in this game were the main thing people were really impressed by when the game was first announced. Like, these models look directly out of the films. And in some cases, they are. The first DLC I bought for the game was Return to Jurassic Park. Let me just say, I love this expansion pack. It is a love letter to Jurassic Park fans through and through. They got the original cast to reprise their roles, and it's just so crazy hearing them speak to each other again. Like, look at that little dialogue exchange.
Oh, do they? People like Dr. Rockstar.
Alan called Ian Dr. Rockstar, a line that John Hammond said in the original film and means absolutely nothing. But the writing team was like, no, we cannot release the game without it. Like, why would they do that? Why would they do that? There's just so much right they do with this DLC. I honestly kind of prefer it to the main game. Now, with all my praise, that doesn't mean this game is without its flaws. It's a park builder, so there are going to be points where you're just bored doing the same maintenance tasks over and over and over again. I think the AI of the dinosaurs could have been a lot better. You quickly run out of space when building your parks, and for being a park builder, which means its whole thing is about giving the player a bunch of ways to build their own unique park, there aren't a lot of ways to customize your islands. And I wasn't alone with these issues either. Many people thought this. Thankfully, almost all these problems were fixed in the sequel. I won't give Evolution 2 a segment of its own, because, well, I didn't grow up with it. All I'm gonna say is that I think the game took a couple flaws from the first and, in fact, amplified them. But, I mean, it's still fun. I still enjoy playing it, so it's not that bad. Next game. Alright, so now we're on to the last game of the day, and what's it gonna be? Huh. Yep, so the final game of today is a worse and much older version of Evolution. I had seen footage of people playing this game for years, but never was able to play it myself, mostly because I simply just couldn't find a way to play it. There was even a point where I got the PS2 version of the game, but for whatever reason my PS2 just couldn't play it. Yeah, that day sucked. But that all changed when I found out about the world of emulation/pirating. Now, I understand what I did was illegal, but like, Come on, the company that made the game went defunct in 2011, so I don't think they were losing any money from what I did. So I downloaded the game and all its files and was finally able to play it, and I loved it. Despite being super limited with graphics and placement, I never felt bored or out of ideas while playing. I think that also has to do with the fact that I was constantly downloading mods for it and even made my own mods. I never uploaded any of them, but I would do simple things like adding new music tracks and sound effects to the game, as well as cheating and messing with the code to get past some of the force limitations the game gives you. Like in a normal playthrough on PC, you can only get 5 dig sites per game, which leads to you missing out on some dinosaurs. No one likes missing out on dinosaurs. Let's say you want to recreate the fight in Jurassic Park 3. Well, unless 2 of those dig sites have the T-Rex and Spinosaurus, you'll have to create a whole new save file in order to do so. Apparently it's even worse on PS2, which only lets you have 3 dig sites, but with a little bit of tampering, but with a little bit of tampering, boom, now we have all 9 dig sites. I played this game for so many hours and never got bored, and that's definitely a big reason why this is my favorite Jurassic Park game. It kept me entertained during some of the hardest times of my life, and I hate to sound like a loser thanking a bunch of code, but I genuinely have to thank it for giving me so much joy during the middle age of my childhood. I mean, all of these games gave me endless hours of joy, frustration, sadness, you know, all that good stuff. So thank you, dinosaur games mostly aimed at children. I appreciate it. I take it back.